22, Kate Jenner. Number 26, Emily Smith. And number 27, Rachel Lynch. Coach is Anne Cummins and team manager is Stevie Davis. Then the team from Japan. With number 1, Ryoko Oye. Number 2, Shiho Sakai. Number 3, Keiko Manabe. Number 4, Kana Nomura. Number 5, Miyuki Nakagawa. Number 6, Akiko Ota. Number 7, Shiho Otsuka. Number 8, Mayumi Ono. Number 9, Shihori Oikawa. Number 10, Hazuki Arai. Number 11, Akane Shibata. Number 15, Ayaka Nishimura. Number 16, Nuri Nagai. Number 17, Azuki Nagai. Number 18, Yuka Yoshikawa. Number 20, Yoshino Asahara. Number 22, Azuki Yuga. And number 23, Shoko Kanefuji. Coach is Shungi Yo. Team manager, Shino Kiri. The umpires for this match are Francis Block and Caroline Ruderke. Judges for this game are Katsuda Chanto and Balakrishnan Mutumuma. Technical officer, Caroline and Karen Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, your special attention for a sports presentation. Two players from the Australian team.
Sorry.
Single.
Kirsten Dwyer will receive an award for her 50th cap. And Ashley Nelson will be awarded for her 150th cap. Presented by Coach.
A very good morning from another sunny day here in The Hague, in the Netherlands, for this year's Rabobank Hockey World Cup 2014. The women in action this morning. Australia versus Japan is game one of the day. So day 3 of the tournament, a second pool match of 5 for both these teams today. And Australia coming off the back of a win against Korea. A 3-2 win for the Australian ladies. Japan going down by 6-1 to the hosts, and that's what it means to the table. All the teams have now played one game in their pool match, and wins for the Netherlands, Australia, New Zealand see them in the top half of the table. Losses for Belgium, Korea and Japan, well, that means they're down towards the bottom end of the table, but a long way still to go. And as we said, just day 3 of the tournament. Sunny Monday morning here, 10:30 local time, and fans just starting to find their places, find their seats. Plenty of Australian shirts in there. And a few animals as well. There is the mascot for the 2014 Hockey World Cup, Stocky, doing the rounds, meeting a few of the fans. A few of Kirsten Dwyer's fans there as well. 50 caps for her today. Wears number 6 for Australia, and Ashley Nelson already on 150 caps as well. That mark today. Adam Commins has already presented both players with some lovely flowers, and here are the two sides now coming out. It's Australia away to the right-hand side, Anna Flanagan there at the front of your picture. And their opponents today in The Hague, Japan. Calls for a bit of fancy dress. And there's a strong contingent of Australian support up there just in front of us, in front of the commentary box. A lot of local schools have been let in today as well, and getting a chance to experience this World Cup atmosphere. Had a round weekend with 51 goals in the tournament so far across the men's and the women's tournament. We'll pause for the national anthems, and then we'll be back with all the action from the first half. Day 3 of the tournament then. Welcome on board for the Rabobank Hockey World Cup 2014. If it's your first outing with us, where have you been? You've missed game 1 for both these two teams. Game 2 about to get underway for both Australia and Japan. Two sides meeting each other ahead of the game, and then we'll dispense with the pleasantries and get down to business. Anna Flanagan, 2 goals the other day in that victory over Korea. And here's how Australia line up with Eastham. Ashley Wells given the opportunity in goal today, rotating with Rachel Lynch during the competition. Jodie Kenny, or Schultz as she used to be, wears number 7. And the likes of number 9, Anna Flanagan, one to watch out for. No Madonna Blythe today, still recovering from that calf injury. As Adam Commons there, the coach, has a final few words with his key players there. Kate Jenner to the right, doesn't start, but will come on and have an impact at some stage of the game. There's a look into the Japanese huddle ahead of this game. And here's how they line up, with the most experienced player and captain, Mayuki Nagagawa, wearing number 5. She's certainly one to look out for, as is Shiho Sakai, number 2. Their drag flick specialist and coached by Seung Jin Yu. Japanese, ranked 9th in the world, also known as the Cherry Blossoms. So it's Australia to get us underway in game 1 of day 3. Match 2 for both these two sides. Australia coming off the back of that 3-2 win against Korea. Japan looking to bounce back from that 6-1 defeat to the hosts, the Netherlands, and get their World Cup campaign back on track. Enjoying every minute of this game with me. Alongside me in the commentary box is Sarah Thomas, GB bronze medalist from 2012. Sarah, good to have you alongside us for another exciting game. It promises to be.
Yeah, I think it will be this morning. Australia haven't got a win in their first game. Japan losing out to the Netherlands 6-1 will be having something to prove here today. And I think with the fight and the spirit they have in the Japanese team, they'll come up against a good performance.
Well, they're just pegged back into their own defensive quarter at the moment, and there's a chance here for Parker to break free for Australia. Skips a couple of tackles and looking for support off the shoulder. The ball comes in, looking for the deflection. It goes wide. It was Kelly White who got close to getting a final touch on this. White here just popping up on the far post, just unable to tip it goal.
Yeah, she does well there, trying to dive in on it, and I think that you'll see a lot of that from the Australians here today. They're not frightened of getting on the floor, getting after a ball and really trying to put anything away in that circle.
Frances Block there, we see one of the umpires from England, and we saw before her Caroline Brunekrief. Both taking charge of this game. And it seems Australia have Japan pegged back in these early minutes. A very high press from them, trying to squeeze them into their defensive quarter. A little touch there coming off the Australian stick of Jane Claxton. Japan ball on the halfway line. We mentioned in the build-up to the game, 50th cap for Kirsten Dwyer and 150 caps now for Ashley Nelson. Nice landmark moments for both those girls on this glorious sunny day in The Hague. Good amount of Aussie support as well for Adam Commons and his side. We saw a couple of the fans ahead of the game. No doubt parents, family, friends that have travelled along to watch this amazing World Cup unfold.
Yeah, it'll be a really proud moment for family and friends watching in the crowd, and the Australian men are to follow this game as well, so we're getting a bit of hype here this morning for the Australian crowd.
And I'm sure back home as well, the Australian fans tuned in. Just seeing there, everyone clutching their daily papers. It's amazing here, isn't it, that they get a news brief every single day of what's happened yesterday, bring you up to speed with where we are in the competition. They really know how to do their hockey here, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we wake up every morning to a paper that's designed to tell you all the latest stories about what happened in the hockey world yesterday, and it becomes something that has come from like an Olympic Games, and you really get used to waking up to that every morning and reading about the stars from yesterday and what happened, and it's great to digest that before coming out to see the hockey that day.
Well, it was a day of Pool B matches yesterday. We're focusing back on Pool A today with Australia versus Japan, the first game up of the day. The men, as you alluded to, in action after this, Australia versus Spain in the men's half of the division, with Korea versus New Zealand and Netherlands versus Belgium also to be played out today in the women's half of the draw. So no goals as yet inside the first 5 minutes of the first half. Australia 0, Japan 0. No clear-cut chances, but Australia with the best of the possession so far. Crossfield ball's a good one to find Nance Korn. And enough pressure put on there by the defender, who was Shihori Akawa. Manabe quite keen to take this one. Thinks about going aerial, but instead slaps it out to that right-hand side, but deep into her own territory. Nakagawa now just plays the 1-2. Not much room down that right-hand touchline.
Yeah, Japan have done well there to work the ball out. Unfortunately, he's given it back to the Australian defender now, but Australia are pressing really high up the field and putting Japan under a lot of pressure, so it's difficult for them at the moment to get the ball out and actually work with it higher up the field.
And in defence, Japan having to do a lot of leg work here. Australia just starting to spray the ball around a bit as Easton picks the ball up. It goes back through Kenny. And now forward down this left-hand flank. Here's a bit more space. Great pivot and turn. Can Australia get their first corner of the game? The shot comes up. Came up off a stick, wasn't dangerous. Whistle blown on that far side. There was some sort of infringement there,
Yes!
which the Dutch umpire spotted. Francis Block taking charge of this near touchline.
Watch the arms!
Bit of an elbow there, the umpire says, so Australia have possession back. Good steal, and here's a chance into the knee for the opening goal. Great save from the goalkeeper, Yoshikawa. That slap shot came in, and she was the quickest to react, but Australian attacker found herself in acres of space there,
Yeah.
and Australia could have easily gone ahead.
Yeah, she definitely could have. Unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, she's just put that straight into the goalkeeper that's coming out at her. And maybe it would have been better to be a little bit more composed and go to the right-hand side and try and find some space around the goalkeeper. But great save from the Japanese goalkeeper nonetheless.
Here's another look back at that. Yoshikawa at her very best here to deny Emily Hertz. Hertz, who scored in the opening game against Korea, on target, but denied by Yoshikawa and Japan. Here's a question for you as a former player, Sarah. Does it matter what sort of time of the day you play your games? It's obviously an early start for everyone, and preparation starting a lot earlier than that, say sort of 4 or 5 hours before the game.
Yeah, it'll be an individual preference, to be honest. For me, I hated playing in the morning. I'm really not a morning person, and found that my fitness levels seemed to get better as the day went on. So an evening game for me was perfect, whereas you'll have other girls in the team where they just want to get up and play because they have so much nervous energy. They just want to get out on the field and make it happen. So yeah, it'll be an individual preference, but both of these teams will have trained for all circumstances, whether that be a morning or an early evening game, and they'll be prepared for any situation.
Japan back into their own half now, again being pegged back, and there's some legwork now for Australia to do as Japan look to come forward. A long searching ball forward. There was just the lone striker up there off the hit of Nishimura. You can almost hear a bit of the conversation going on there between Adam Commons and Emily Hertz, just giving her a bit of advice on that last play when she had the keeper one-on-one and alluded to dipping the shoulder a little bit and moving the body.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's very easy from the sideline or up here in the commentary box to see that space. When you're down on the field, it's very different as a player, and it happens in a split second, so you just have to go with your instinct. But I'm sure we'll see more of Emily Hurst as the game progresses.
Japan with their best passage of play so far in the first half. A free hit just outside the D awarded. All players have to be 5 metres, and the ball must travel 5 metres before it goes into the D. It's more than done that now, and Japan deep into their own half again. Good pressure this from Australia. 4 green shirts around Nakagawa, the captain then, and putting on enough pressure to force the mistake.
Yeah, Australia are doing really well in the midfield and defence. They're zonal marking at the minute, which means that they're marking the space rather than the actual player. So when the Japanese player receives the ball in midfield, they're coming in from 3 or 4 different angles, so applying a lot of pressure to the Japanese midfield, who unfortunately at the moment are giving that ball away a bit too easily.
Talking of which, Australia have just given it away. There's room again. Well, tic-tac-toe. Australia have it back with Eastham now. Important they maintain possession here, Australia, with Flanagan in possession now. Can't get the better of her opposite number, but a good defensive tackle from Jenner to take it out of touch. Great penalty corner conversion from Anna Flanagan the other day. She's certainly a weapon from the head of the D.
Yeah, she really is. I mean, you've got the likes of Marcia Palman, people talk of her all the time, but Flanagan doesn't get mentioned so much, but she's, yeah, definitely a weapon in there, and a great start to the tournament for her, which will give her a lot more confidence moving forward.
Still a young emerging talent as well, just 22 years old the other day and voted 2012 Young Player of the Year.
Yeah, really impressive stats from Flanagan, and again, like you say, you forget how young she is because she's been around for so long, but a lot of experience on young shoulders there.
Are Australia going to miss the likes of Attard, who we know is out with a stress reaction injury in her lower leg? She's been a key figure over the years. Yeah,
I believe so. I mean, and also with Madonna Blythe not playing today, it'll be difficult for the Australians.
Here's a chance for Australia. That one just guided away. Good reverse stick interception from Manebe.
I think what players like Attard and Blythe bring to the team is just communication and level-headedness. So in moments where, you know, you need the team to restructure and refocus, they will bring that. So again, he'll give the players on the field today, like Flanagan and Casey Eastham, you know, the experience to get that and to try and work the team together and regroup them in moments if they need to.
Well, no need to panic just yet. We're only 10 minutes into the first half. No goals to report, unfortunately. But good chance for Emily Hertz and a great save from Yoshikawa, the Japanese goalkeeper. Possession-wise, it's been all Australia. Just a few attacks for the Japanese. Little foot there, advantage played. Eastham now on the reverse stick, thinks about going in. This is Parker looking for the interchange pass, but intercepted by Nomura. Aerial ball's a good one. Arai will chase it down, and Kenny in pursuit as well. Kenny first to it for Australia and just watches it out of play in the end. Again, we see here Japan not pushing numbers forward like we're seeing Australia at the other end and containing the play. Australia just allowed that freedom to play around with the ball at the back.
Yeah, exactly. Japan obviously a bit hesitant and hopefully going to choose a moment when they go like now, but just they're giving pressure and they're making those intercepts, but they just need to be a bit more disciplined and being balanced and actually making themselves seem a lot bigger than they actually are, and they can do that with the presence of the stick.
Here's Hertz then on the counter, good stick skills to take on her opponent there, and here's a chance for Flanagan if she hits it first time, decides to get the ball across the face of D, and swept away in the end by the Japanese defence. Good chance.
Yeah, good chance there. Flanagan trying to get the ball across, but fortunately saved by the Japanese this time, and they were able to clear the ball out.
Japan at the moment getting in front of their players very well. That was Oikawa this time that got in front of her man, and a lovely one too. This is Nage down the left-hand flank, but good cover work as well this time from McMahon.
Yeah, and like you said, the Japanese, when they're getting higher up the field, unfortunately they're on their own at the moment, and they're just running in a straight line. Potentially, if they are on their own, they need to try and change the angle so they can open up the other side of the field where they do have some more support players.
Well, Japan qualified for this World Cup as continental champions of Asia. No mean feat, beating Korea, who are ranked one place above them in the world rankings in the final in 2013 in that Asia Cup. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, Japan are an interesting side. If they get a bit of confidence or they get a goal, then they'll really thrive on that. I think coming into this tournament, unfortunately for them, they've been poor recently, having lost the last 15 friendly matches. There's not a lot of confidence at the moment, and losing to the Netherlands 6-1 as well. But in saying that, they did get a goal against the Netherlands, and you could just see what they took from that, and hopefully they can take that into today's game.
Here come Australia now with Hertz forced out for a long corner. Flanagan first to it to take it. Ball into Parker. Good peel and turn there into the D. Parker drives on, looking for the pass to the P spot as it was. Well, she had Hurts underneath her left shoulder, couldn't quite find her.
Yeah, great bit of skill there from Georgia Parker. She was influential in their win against Korea the other day, and looking forwards to seeing her getting into the circle more. Like you said, though, maybe could have just taken a little bit more time and made sure she found her teammate there in the circle.
That's crucial, isn't it, that you calm things down mentally as a player when you get into the circle, as Australia drive to the head of the D again and get a free hit. It's Easton with the quick self-pass, but that goes astray, and that'll be a sideline ball for Japan. Yeah,
it's really, really important, and that's, I think, the most difficult thing for a player. You get into the circle and you can feel the pressure increase when you do so, and it's just a matter of slowing yourself down and reminding yourself what you do in the training environment, and that you can be confident and hold on to the ball for that little bit longer than you think you have.
Reverse stick cross comes in. Good step again from the defence.
Yeah, good bit of strength there. Good interception again in the circle and bringing the ball out, and really good bit of strength there from the Japanese player to just win a free hit and allow her team to regroup.
Yeah, Nelson was poised to receive that ball, couldn't quite get to it, but credit to the Japan defence. There's a look at possession so far. So time spent in the opposition half, 80% of possession held by Australia in their opposition's half. That tells a story in itself.
Yeah, huge amount of possession, but unfortunately for Australia, not really getting outcomes in the circle, so that's something they'll be looking to improve on as the game progresses.
That's the thing, I'm just counting maybe 3 or 4 circle penetrations, no penalty corners as yet.
Yeah, precisely. I think Japan are doing well in the sense that while Australia are getting into the 23, they're not actually allowing them to get into the circle. They are defending pretty well at the minute, but it's up to Australia to do a little bit more with the ball. That everything seems to be really flat at the minute, and whether it's an option for the attackers to get the ball in the air and challenge the Japanese defenders in that way.
Nice patient build-up from Japan. This is more like it, down that right-hand flank now. A little defensive touch, takes it for a long corner. Final touch there came in from Edwina Bone. Japan win a free hit on the edge of the D. Dangerous times now for Australia. They get green shirts behind it. A wall of 5 green shirts there. Can Japan break through? Yes, they can. Keeper gets her first touch of the game, and it's a 16-yard hit. Ashley Wells called into action there, rotating during this tournament with Rachel Lynch, and Wells getting her first touch of the game.
Yeah, that was better from Japan, just actually getting something in the circle. Good clearance from the goalkeeper and good composure there as well to take the ball away from goal.
Had to make sure she had something on it because there was that Japanese attacker just on the far post lurking.
Yeah, just lurking, and Japanese are known very well for their deflections and what they can bring in the circle for that. So I'm sure the Australian defence will want to mark that a little bit more tightly as the game goes on.
Nance Cowan there with the quick restart. The ball and the delivery towards the penalty spot was good. Had some good pace on it, but there was no support in attack for Nance Cowan there, who took the free hit quickly. There is confirmation of those circle penetrations. 3 for Australia, just that 1 for Japan now.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the possession we saw earlier, 80% to Australia, they're going to be disappointed with the circle penetrations. Japan, on the other hand, 20% in 1 circle entry. That's not bad going. So if they can keep doing that and get something from it and be a bit more clinical in the circle, maybe Japan can get a goal to kickstart this game for us.
Yeah, that's just what it's lacking at the moment, isn't it? A little bit of a firework to get us going.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, what we see from Japan more often than not is they're very good at a structure. They play with structure, and they know they're passing. So, like we see, they're coming out of defence into midfield. And that's all.
Corn there, just winning a free hit outside the D. Let's see if Australia can get this one into the D. Can't remember go directly in. Has to move 5 metres, which is why Nelson there has come back. Australia coming around, coming down this right-hand flank now with Bone. self-pass to get going again. Long corner.
Oh, five.
16 minutes remaining in the first half. Australia 0, Japan 0. Nothing to report as yet.
Yeah, Japan have done well there. I mean, Australia moved the ball from the left to the right side of the field and tried to get as much stretch on the game as possible, but Japanese defenders in midfield got across the field really well and covered that, and again, Australia just playing the ball into a flat stick and enabling Japan to regain possession.
I'm not sure whether the Japanese player was 5 metres there, but advantage played from the umpire, and here's a chance for Japan to take the lead. They take the shot and score! Japan take the lead against the run of play. Australia trail here. It's Australia 0, Japan 1.
That's fantastic from Japan, and probably the first real attack we've seen from them. Number 11 there, Shibata, the girl who scored against Netherlands the other day as well, taking the lead for the team, really showing some initiative here and just really driving with that ball, getting the ball in the air, as we just mentioned earlier, laying it off beautifully, and she's taken no prisoners with this one and smashed it. I think the goalkeeper will be disappointed with that, but again, some real power on that shot, and yeah, great diving deflection as well to try and get an edge on that ball into the goal.
So Yuri Nagai on 20 minutes puts Japan ahead. Hockeyroos trail here in the Netherlands. That one just seemed to creep through Ashley Wells's pads.
Yeah, it did. I mean, she'd be disappointed with that herself, but it's difficult as a goalkeeper. If you've seen something and you've been wrong-footed, then you almost move into the left-hand side of the goal to protect that, because the last thing the goalkeeper wants is it going in on the inside there.
Well, we asked and they delivered. We said this game really needed a goal to get things going, and we should see the tempo significantly lift now from Australia as Parker skips a couple of tackles. That ball deflected away by the defence for a long corner. Australia, we're hoping, should bounce back and kick into action now.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. I mean, this is where you need the players in the team to really step it up to another level. What we saw yesterday, I mean, nothing is guaranteed, especially in a tournament like this in the group stages, so we really need now for Australia to put some intensity into this game and get a goal back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we saw England go 2-0 down to the USA yesterday, and they couldn't recover from that, only back to 2-1, so losing their opening game. And, well, Australia, this is their second game of the tournament, but they certainly don't want to go too behind.
No, I mean, Australia went 1-0 down to Korea the other day, and they came back from that, so they know it's in their back pocket. They know they're capable of doing that, so I'm sure at this stage of the game they're not too worried, but they just need to ensure that they keep to the basics, they keep doing what they usually do and not get frightened by going down 1-0. But seems to give the Japanese a little bit of energy there, and they're running after every ball at the minute, so they're giving them a little bit extra.
Yeah, take this result and carry it through to half-time. That will very much be the target for Seung Jin-Yu, the coach of Japan and the Japanese girls there, but expect sustained pressure on that defence. They've been on the back foot throughout this game, but scored against the run of play through Yuri Nagai. Ball comes in from Parker, first time, it's a bobbly one, and dealt with in the best of manners there by Hazuki Nagai, sister of Yuri Nagai, the goal scorer.
Yeah, she's done really well again. They're intercepting the ball and controlling it when it's in the air is not easy by any means, so bringing that out of your own defensive circle with pressure on you from an Australian player, credit to her there.
Oh, lovely dummy. That was deliberately done there. And now the follow-up run from Nagagawa, who's in support, but the ball forward, not the best of balls. Japan still with it, though, on the attacking 23. Here is the captain now, spreads it wide to the right-hand flank. And is there a way through here for Kashara? No is the answer. Australia with possession back, and we'll have the restart on the 15-metre line, or also known as a 16-yard hit. There's a foul just back there a bit, so Japan quite happy to put the pressure on here. A goal up, and now some sustained pressure sees them get possession back. A small foot there from Nagai.
Yeah, I think Australia needs to just keep moving forward now, keep putting pressure on Japan when they have the ball, and try and ensure that they get back into this game as soon as they possibly can. Japan quite comfortable to just get the ball up the other side of the field at the minute. but they need to do something with that rather than just pumping up the other side.
Well, it certainly does the trick, doesn't it, to relieve a bit of pressure, just thumping the ball up the other end.
Yeah, it does, and I mean, several teams will say that's a really good tactic to relieve yourself of some pressure, but what you got to remember is they're just going to come back at you again. So ideally, the best options, and what we see from the likes of the Netherlands and the Argentinian women, is that they get the ball up the other side of the field by carrying the ball or playing smart passes and keep the ball up there rather than just trying to get the ball into the circle or giving it away cheaply, trying to retain possession.
And as far as Australia's history goes in this tournament, this is their 10th World Cup appearance. Twice winners, of course, in 1994 and 1998, back-to-back wins with 2 silvers and a bronze as well in the tournament. So the Hockeyroos certainly have a presence when it comes to getting their hands on that World Cup trophy, but trail here to Japan with 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, that's better from Japan, inching their way up the game, allows them to get stretch on and more players ahead of the ball, so it gives them more options then when moving forward. I definitely feel a surge of energy in them having scored that goal and starting to play with a little bit more confidence now, I'd say.
And here they'll just look to retain possession as well and try and entice Australia out to try and catch them on the counter, I expect.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, that's what that last goal came from, and that's what they'll be looking to do, but Australia come again.
Well, it's just this final phase of play not quite clicking for Australia at the moment.
Yeah, it's just that last pass. At the minute, too many of the passes are going across the forehand stick, and Japan are cutting it out a little bit too easily there. That's a great
Lovely
ball.
cross-field ball, wasn't it? Yeah, just. Emily Hertz wins the free hit as well. Great vision, and here's Flanagan around the back looking for the equaliser. Play waved on.
Yeah, really smart play from Flanagan there, taking the free hit nice and quickly and getting into the circle there. Right on the baseline there, again, finding herself in a lot of space, and just like to see her carry that ball a little bit longer and then tuck it back. But yeah, good option, just the Japanese defender getting a stick on that and not allowing them to be clinical in this occasion.
Flanagan with the restart. Support in the form of Taylor as she drives forward now, and here's another chance for Australia at the head of the D once again, and just picked away from Emily Smith by the defender. So Anno winning that battle.
Yeah, that's a really difficult skill when you've got a defender right up on your back, trying to trap that ball with that pressure, but that's the difference between the star players. They're able to control that ball and really make sure that they retain possession in that area, because that is exactly where you need to be playing your hockey.
Well, Japan's best ever performance in a Hockey World Cup was back in 2006 when they finished 5th. And they're up by 1-0 at the moment against Australia, ranked 5 places above them in the world rankings. Flanagan again stretches those long legs of hers and finds Eastham looking for the baseline run. Couldn't find Emily Smith, but the build-up and the pattern was a good one.
Yeah, definitely, but I'm watching the Japanese defence and midfield there and how hard they're working to get back and to get across the field, and they're just reading it all a little bit too easily at the minute. It seems that Australia need to come up with something a little bit different, or to play the ball further away from the defender, the Japanese defender or midfield, so they actually can move forward a bit more fluidly.
And to Japan's credit, they've done their homework. They're man-on-man on each of the defensive players, and they're pulling all 11 back in defence and getting numbers behind the ball.
Yeah, it seems to me that the Australian team are just taking everything a little bit too quickly. I think they have a little bit more time on the ball than they realise, but the perception of pressure is a strange one, and Japan are most certainly taking that to them at the moment, so we will see.
This is a good phase of play, though, for Australia. They put the squeeze on there, and another long corner. Here's where they need to try and break away through. You can just see how hard it is to get through to the D, the shooting circle. 5 white shirts in the way, but the ball comes in, but the wrong side of the goal and across the baseline for a free hit act.
Yeah, I mean, with the results Japan have had in more recent times, that they're used to defending and defending really well at that. They're looking for a lot more interceptions today as well, which is great play from them. And like I said earlier, putting a lot of pressure on the Australian forwards when they're picking up the ball.
So just that one counter-attack goal from Japan that separates the two sides. Yuri Nagai scoring on 20 minutes with a little under 6 minutes to play here at the Kyocera Stadium in The Hague, the venue for this year's 2014 World Cup. The men and the women both in action during the next couple of the weeks. And we've got all the matches from Pool A, both in the men's and the women's division, to look forward to today. This game 1 of 6. Australia men, of course, in action next against Spain. So if you are just tuning in down under, welcome on board. Sadly, the Hockey Rouge trail here by 1-0.
Japan doing really well there in defence and the press, forcing the Australians to their right-hand side, the Japanese right-hand side, and then just making sure that they get numbers into that area and a stick on the ball, and again, they've won back possession.
Well, this is all they've got to continue to keep doing if they're going to get the full 3 points out of the game. And watch Japan here. This is where they work back so hard. This is what they've done so well to keep their noses in front. The ball clipped in from Kelly White.
Yeah, what Japan are doing really well is forcing Australia to the sideline and using that as an extra defender. So I think what we saw from Australia against Korea was they had chances through the centre of the field, and maybe Japan have picked that up on the video analysis, done their homework, and maybe that's a tactic of theirs today.
Quick restart from White. Thump crunch ball comes in. That's got to be dangerous, is it? Yeah, came in high from Ashley Nelson.
This is a moment here now where Japan just need to secure possession. Yeah, they've lost out again.
Well, there was just a little elbow there from Kasahara. For me, it's just that is a perfect demonstration of Australia just giving away possession needlessly on the halfway line.
Yeah,
they've fortunately got it back because the ball's gone out of play, but they have to retain that possession again, giving it straight back.
Yeah, they've given the ball away quite cheaply at times today, and I think that's the key moment where players like Madonna Blythe and Attard would come in and just calm their nerves to make sure that they keep possession for a little bit longer. But saying that, they've had an awful lot of possession today, so what it is just the outcomes they're getting from that. Yeah, Japan have been more clinical on the other side.
Well, Australia's last World Cup success came in the Netherlands in 1998 in Utrecht, when they beat the Dutch in the final there by 3-2. A long way to the final for Australia at the moment. Game 2 of 5 pool games. Australia sharing a pool with the Netherlands, the world #1, New Zealand, their neighbours, Korea, Japan and Belgium. Always good to have a little bit of ice on the head. It is hot down there pitch side, so a nice way of cooling down. Bag of ice on the head. Perfect.
Good intercept there.
Certainly was, and allows Australia to counter-attack again. Just so physical at the moment, the Japanese players, not allowing the Australian attack any room. Here's Flanagan again with the restart. Thinks about going directly towards White, finds her, and here's a chance. Reverse stick shot comes in, great save again from Yoshikawa, long corner. Great reactions there from Kelly White to pick the shooting opportunity, and the keeper's down here. It's actually hit her in an area where there doesn't look to be any padding, I think.
Yeah, it's a great strike from the Australian forward there. She's really taken a quick opportunity to get a shot off. Great backhand strike, but goalkeeper really stretching, and like you said, I think it's just hit her at a position where there's no pads.
It's come off her glove there, so for me that's she's strained something, haven't she?
Yeah, she looks like she has, but she looks to be getting back up again. But great save there from the Japanese goalkeeper.
Well, that pad came off so quickly, and it's gone on equally quickly. You never see a keeper pad up that quickly. Here's White again, who had that chance just moments ago. Forcing that fantastic stretch save from Yoshikawa. Flanagan again with the ball on the edge of the D. Good phase of play again for Australia. This time brought out by Taylor. Carries on the drive, it'll be another long corner. For me, Australia have to do something a little bit more imaginative in these areas.
Yeah, they're not looking that creative at the moment. It's the same thing they're trying to do each time. And like I said, the ball's either kept on the floor or they get into the baseline, but they're not actually connecting with their teammates. So I think at half-time that would be something they're looking to better in the second half. They've definitely, well, we can't argue, they've definitely had the possession in the first half, but it's the outcomes from that.
Here's a chance to get one of those outcomes. A foot here would be good. A shot on target, even better, and the ball goes just short of Jade Taylor, who was sliding in on the far post.
Yeah, ball comes in nicely there from the left-hand side. Put across the goal, but yeah, the forward's a little bit late there, but the Japanese defender's been quite clever in what she's done there and just ensuring that she's had a little touch on her, which has potentially stopped her from making contact with that ball. Put her off a little bit there.
Great ball in as well from Kelly White. She's having a good phase of play. Inside the final minute, an aerial ball from the back from Ono, intercepted by Flanagan. This is the last chance for Australia to get an equaliser. At the end of the first half, there's a strike again. It's come up off the keeper and they'll have a penalty corner to finish things off in the first half. Well, they deserve it. It finally came, but a good save initially from Yoshikawa. There is the buzzer that signifies half-time, but we will play out this penalty corner.
Yeah, great ball in there from Flanagan. Missed trap, but managed to re-secure possession, and it's a great first-time strike. They're getting something on target, and that's really what they've been lacking in the first half, so that's really nice to see. Another great save from the Japanese goalkeeper, outstretched again, but she managed to get something on that ball, and now it gives Australia the chance to get every single player around the circle edge.
Here it is then, last play of the half, coming off. That last shot came up off the keeper, so penalty corner awarded. Flanagan at the head of the D will certainly be one of the options. Here she is now, lets it go, keeps it low and scores. What a great time to score.
Yeah.
The Hockeyroos get an equaliser right on the buzzer, so they go into half-time at 1-1. It's Australia 1, Japan 1. So there they go, the Hockeyroos trot off. What about this for a goal?
Yeah, fantastic, great. Exactly what they need at this moment. Goes straight through the Japanese defenders and smack bang in the middle, bottom left-hand corner there for Flanagan. And you could see with their celebration the relief in scoring that goal and getting our team back into this game.
Yeah, that literally parts the Japanese defence there, and Flanagan equalises for Australia. So they'll go in level pegging. A huge sigh of relief from the girls, no doubt, internally. And we start on as even in the second half. They leave all their sticks, their kit behind, trot off to the Kaiosera changing rooms. There's a nice wide view of the stadium here at half-time. Australia 1, Japan 1.
En wie sorry niet begroeten, geven we een heel groot applaus. Onze Sokkie. En zijn jullie klaar voor de prijzen? Volgens mij wel veel harder. Zijn jullie klaar om de prijs te verdienen? Heel goed. En dat wat? Zijn jullie klaar om de prijs te verdienen? Ik vond die andere. En wat kunnen we doen? Zijn jullie klaar om de prijs te verdienen? Heel goed. Laten we proberen dat je zo schoon mogelijk bent, dat je leraar vanmiddag een heerlijke rustige middag beleeft. We staan te wachten tot de kanonnen zover zijn. En ik zie de kanon komen.
Welcome back to day 3, match 1 of the Rabobank Hockey World Cup 2014. Australia clawing their way back into this game after they went behind to Japan's Yuri Nagai goal. Anna Flanagan converting that penalty corner right at the very end of the first half. So 1 apiece it is, and if you missed any of that action from the first half, let's bring you up to speed. Australia with a majority of the possession could have easily gone ahead there. That shot from Emily Hertz, who scored the other day against Korea, coming close there against Japan. Good drive from Georgie Parker this time to set up that opportunity. Japan with a few circle penetrations of their own as well. A little deflection there to keep Ashley Wells in the Australian goal busy. And this was the counter-attack, led by Shibata and converted by Nagai. And Japan taking the lead on 20 minutes. Wonderful strike, beating the goalkeeper. Just popped in there off Wells's pads. But right on the hooter, Australia with this chance. And Anna Flanagan keeping her cool and slotting it home to make it Australia 1, Japan 1. Always good to get some reaction as well at half-time, and all the coaches willing to have a chat with us here at the Hockey World Cup. Quintin is pitch side with Sung Jin Yu.
Well, Sun Jin, disappointing to concede that last goal, but you must have been happy to at least get 1 goal on the counter.
Yes, first times we are aiming the drop, so now 1-1, I'm satisfied. But second half, we are more aggressive attacking, yeah.
And you need some more of the ball?
Yes, yeah.
What was your message to the girls at halftime?
And I give them the message, more aggressive and then spirit, and then depending 20, 30, 20, 30 yards. Yep.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
So more aggression from Japan in the second half. That to look forward to. Here's a look back at some of the stats from the first half. 6 shots for Australia in it. 7 circle penetrations in total, but just look at the dominance there they had in possession. 80% possession to 20% in their favour. Just the 1 penalty corner in the game going Australia's way, and Anna Flanagan scoring to level things up here in The Hague. Plenty of ways for you to get involved as well. There's our Twitter account at @FIH_hockey. You can hashtag your tweets, and of course we're on Facebook as well. A lot of these youngsters are, and in true Dutch fashion they are chopping it up. Stocky's out and about as well. He's our mascot. And these locals certainly enjoying themselves. The organisers here having opened up the gates to allow schools in from all over the Netherlands as the atmosphere builds and builds towards the big Dutch game of the day, which sees the Netherlands women in action against Belgium. That pushes back at 7:45 this evening.
What happened in that last 35. What matters is what happens in every minute this next 35. The result's not done yet, guys. We know that we've scored 4 goals in 20 minutes against these guys, but it's not just going to happen. We have to make it happen. We have to put the chances away, be determined up front, lead for each other, work for each other, uncompromise in the last 35, guys. Let's do it, guys. Let's go, guys.
Punchy chat from Casey Easton there in the Australia huddle. They have scored plenty of goals against Japan in the past in those practice games, winning 7 of 7. In fact, as the coach alluded to ahead of this, the last 15 friendlies have all gone Australia's way. Big smiles on the crowds of the fans here. They're enjoying themselves. Hopefully you are as well. Strap yourself in for the second half. So Japan push back for the second half and opting to thump the ball upfield and try and gain some ground on Australia. Japan going ahead through Yuri Nagai on 20 minutes. Australia drawing level with Anna Flanagan's straight strike. And Parker there just taking one in the face. Is she all right? Seems okay. Just the stick in the face from Miyuki Nakagawa. So 1-1 at half-time, 35 left to go. Let's pick the brains of Sarah Thomas again, GB star alongside us here in the commentary box as Australia kick forward with Casey Easton, who led a spirited chat and a charge in her team talk. Let's see if she can get into the D here. Continues her run and will look to get Australia's second penalty corner of the game if she can. On the head of the D now, that ball just gets tipped away for a long corner.
Yeah, I'm sure Australia will have had a little bit of a ticking off there half-time. No doubt Adam Commons will be pleased with the possession they've had, but I think he'll be looking for a lot more in terms of the outcomes they're getting. So a bit more of a spirited first start there by Australia, and I think we'll see a lot more of intensity and direction for them in the second half as this game carries on.
We heard from the Japanese coach at half-time as well. He said his players are going to come out more spirited than ever and even more aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they performed really well with that already in the first half. So to see an addition to that would be fantastic. But they've got everything to play for still, 1-1, and they have most definitely gained confidence from scoring that goal in the first half. So again, we see now Japan are already stretching the game a lot more. We've got forwards high up the field, which they didn't have at the beginning of the first half. So if they can get up that side of the field and produce something, then this could be a real good game for us here.
Well, I think it's going to be a tight game, tighter than any of the friendlies we've seen the two sides contend in the past. Lovely spin turn there from Jodie Kenny, maintaining possession as well, which is the most important thing there. And a dominant run through the midfield from Nelson as well. Easton, back to Kenny. Route 1 ball, looking for a deflection. Parker was there, the ball ends up in the goal, but remember the final touch has to come from within the D to any newcomers to the sport. Clearly a few young fans in here in the stadium getting very excited that that was a goal.
Yeah.
Scored a fair few from outside of the D.
Haven't we all? And claimed them.
Nakagawa, the captain of Japan, leads that drive, but the ball lifted in above knee height. There's Parker again in the wall. She got hit in the face just at the start of this second half. She's just come off as a substitute now, but rolling substitutions. Seems okay, still smiling.
Yeah, there's already a bit more energy from Australia. They're taking the free hits a lot quicker, and the self-pass, they're just trying to get on with this game and try and get the first goal now in the second half here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that all-important first goal in the second half is going to be a real key turning point in this game. And whoever gets it and gets their noses in front is certainly going to take that advantage and that momentum for the duration of the game.
Yeah, it always gives you a lot of confidence if you are the team to do that. And especially for Australia, I think it'll settle them down a little bit and maybe encourage them to move forward then by 2, if not 3 more goals. But if Japan can stay in this now and contend and like the coach said, continue to play with aggression and spirit, then they could very well get a point out of this game.
Then Australia maintain that high press of theirs, looking to squeeze Japan here. A little defensive touch there. Takes it straight out, Australia ball. Good scrap in there from Eastham to regain possession. Drive forward now from Jenna. Ball comes into the D. Japan clear it up with Oikawa. And that'll be Japan ball. The Japanese player was not 5 metres when Jenna received that ball. And was there a foot there inside the D? Looked like there might have been. Certainly looked close, but play waved on. And the chase is on here. Yuri Nagai just falling short. Parker seems all right. She's been icing that left ear of hers. Good overlapping run from Claxton now into the D. Here's the cross and a deflection goal for Australia. Australia lead Japan by 2 goals to 1. A far post tip in. And for the first time in this match, Australia lead.
Yeah, great passage of play there from Australia. Managed to provide some space on the left-hand side and just driving into that circle. Here we can see it. Just managing to get that ball driving into the circle with intent and then putting a ball across. I mean, that's a great finish, diving deflection, and the ball's actually bouncing in the air, so she's done very well to Smith to make contact with that and finish the ball off for Australia to take the 2-1 lead.
That's where all the hard work was done. Claxton with the drive and then the great cross-field ball which found Emily Smith's stick. Smith adds a second for Australia, and Australia take the lead. She might well not. It was a wonderful goal. Smith converting on 41 minutes. Japan then straight back up the other end. There's going to be a good shooting opportunity here. This to equal it. Good save this time from Wells. Follow-up is charged down. Japan still here in front of the goal, and that ball coming up, and a wonderful save in amongst it from Ashley Wells, but encouraging signs for Sung Jin-Yu.
Yeah, brilliant for Japan to get down the other side of the field so quickly and get something on target. Captain there being found in acres of space on top of the circle, and that's just due to her arriving late. Fantastic shot on goal, but yeah, Australian goalkeeper was equal to the save.
Yeah, she just popped up completely unmarked in the D.
Yeah, she did. Whether that was on purpose and a late arrival, who knows, but either way it worked on that occasion.
Well, end-to-end stuff here in The Hague. Australia have started the second half the better of the two sides, and they've got a goal as well. So under 30 minutes left to play. Australia 2, Japan 1, as Australia regain the ball and come forward again with Jenna. This is Parker. And it's corned just off her left shoulder. Interested to see what Commons has got as his notes down there, noting away like a madman. Some parallels with the style of Rick Charlesworth's coaching. Rick in charge of the men's team here at the Hockey World Cup. And Cummins, of course, a former player, as Japan now look to seal some dominance in this second half. They trail here by 2-1. And maybe a video referral
Okay, 20.
here.
Question? Foot. Okay, I'll check. Did you see a foot, Caroline?
No, I didn't see a foot.
Okay.
So neither umpire on the pitch saw the foot, but we do have a video umpire, and each side has a video referral.
Yes, I'm looking for a foot, Lucky.
Yeah, thank you.
Carol Metchit, our video umpire today. She will look at a series of different cameras and look for a foot here, called in by Kasahara.
Hard to see from that angle. I'm not sure I saw a foot on that occasion.
Lucky, there is no foot, so stick with your decision.
Thank you.
And Japan lose the referral.
Okay, thank you. One
So,
second.
as you heard there,
All okay, time?
no foot inside the D. Japan lose their video referral. Just one per game they're allowed, the sides. And Japan lose theirs for the remainder of this game. Australia with theirs still intact. A little red dot above Japan's name now in the top left-hand corner. Australia still with theirs, signified by the green circle. Easton with the interception. It's gone out of play, surely. Yep. Lovely one-touch ball down the line from Nakagawa. Plays in Arai. Free hit one back by Australia.
Yeah, good passage of play here from Japan. Doing well in keeping the ball high up the field. I think this is the longest period of time they've managed to do that rather than just hitting a long ball ahead. So hopefully as the game continues, we'll see more of them up this side of the field, because number 20 there was showing some real strength in getting into the circle, and from what I see from the notes, she's only her 8th cap today, so some real spirit in this team, like the coach alluded to earlier.
Yes, Yoshino Kasahara. Where's number 20, Australia, looking to make it 3-1. And, well, was there an obstruction there on Kelly White's shot? No, says the umpire. The whistle has gone and blown the other way, and Ono has gone to ground. Caught up in that tangle.
Time is out.
Kelly White looking to get off the tomahawk shot.
I'll just see. Does she need somebody to help her? You're okay? Okay.
Obstructing the backswing, so
Okay.
obstructed the player who was having a shot.
I will ask her. Thanks. Carol?
So yeah, it's that reverse stick. You saw the stick as Kelly White was taking the shot.
They're asking whether the backswing was obstructed, and
Yeah,
therefore
she's
should
coming
be a
in there to
penalty
take
corner.
the shot. The Japanese players come in from behind there.
So is this an obstruction, is what Australia are asking for? The back lift of the player,
I'll
she was
take a
about
look.
to take the shot. It's gone into the face of the player who's coming in from the other side, and the video umpire will have a look at it in more detail.
I think the rule there is that the Japanese player, I mean, it's very, very brave of her to come in from behind, but she's going to have to win the ball really cleanly, and like you see, she's made no contact with the ball there.
I have
So
a decision for you, Caroline. Her stick was blocked, and you can award the penalty corner.
yeah,
And Australia keep their referral.
Okay.
Speedy decision, penalty corner it is. It's a second of the game for Australia. They converted, remember last time, Anna Flanagan scoring right on the hooter at the end of the first half. And she'll get a second opportunity or a second bite at the cherry here as well. Can she extend Australia's lead? 2-1 they lead currently. Just Edwina Bone back at the halfway line. Most of the other Australians up and around the D. Kate Jenner goes back to join her on the halfway. Anna Flanagan poised at the head of the D. Can she get this one goal bound? Another high flick this time, finds the back of the net. And Flanagan extends Australia's lead. It's Australia 3, Japan 1.
that is a beauty. I mean, she's been so clinical there, putting it top left-hand corner. She showed us in the first half that she had a low drag flick, but to come in and put this top left-hand corner, there's nothing the Japanese goalkeeper can do about that, and she's absolutely pumped about that.
She loves it. Here's another look at it from behind. Well executed, just like the goal against Korea. Left the goalkeeper absolutely no chance.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Really well executed, and that you couldn't have asked for more. That was perfect to put her team into the lead by 2 goals.
watched her sort of develop over the years, and she's just coming into her own. She's so much stronger and more accurate than she's ever been, and what a time to peak at the Hockey World Cup. So Australia 3, Japan 1, Flanagan getting that third goal on 43 minutes. Just chatting there with Madonna Blythe, normally captain, but just nursing that calf back to full health. Just felt that today wasn't the game to come back and reintroduce herself. Adam Commons saying ahead of the game that she could have potentially played, but better just to play it safe. Felt that he had enough firepower out there to get the win, and Australia certainly showing a marked improvement in this second half. There's a look at Anna Flanagan, the scorer of Australia's last goal. 2 in the game so far, 4 in the tournament now for Anna Flanagan, leading goal scorer. Will she be up there at the end of the tournament? Well, stay tuned to find out. Australia now just with the ability to toy with the Japanese defence a little bit more. That ball coming up into Casey Eastham initially, so the free hit will come back and be taken on the edge of the D. Bone with the restart. First time cross wasn't the best.
No, it didn't come off on that occasion, but like I said earlier, it's much better from Australia. They've definitely upped the intensity, and like we saw, they're taking an early, quick free hit and trying to get something into the circle to try and catch the Japanese defence off guard.
Well, we saw Japan about to make a goalkeeping substitution. Ryoko Oi is going to come on in place of Yuka Yoshikawa. Yoshikawa, who's made several good saves in that first half.
Lucky you agreed, it's a 16, isn't it?
But will be replaced now. Some good match experience for Ryoko Oi. As the 2 goalkeepers exchange high fives. And well, fresh legs in the goal for Japan. And the onslaught set to continue. What's really been the key difference in Australia's performance in this second half for you, Sarah?
Just the fact that they've upped the intensity. They've managed to find each other a lot better as well, in the sense that when they're moving forward, the passes are actually working now, and the ball's actually running a little bit easier for them. And I always believe that comes from like hard work, like what you put in, you get out. So I think that the fact that they've upped the intensity, things are just running a bit more smoothly for them, and as a result, they've got a comfortable lead at the minute against the Japanese side.
Anyway, back for Japan. Well, they'll have to score in the next 5-10 minutes if they stand any chance of getting anything out of this game. At the moment, it's all Australia. And ball in from Nelson into the D, and the reverse stick shot was an absolute cracker from Eastham. Not quite on target, but the build-up play was superb. And what about this for an almost perfect finish?
Yeah, that's brilliant. Really good run in from Casey Eastham. They're finding herself inside and asking for the ball back in the circle. Getting a shot off, unfortunately not going on target, but it's not too far away, and that's much, much better from Australia. That's what we would have wanted to have seen in the first half as well.
Going for glory, I think there, wasn't she, top right? Yeah. There's a reverse stick cross in. It's dangerously high from Kirsten Dwyer. Dwyer playing her 50th cap today for the Hockeyroos. This is Jenna now with the interception, goes herself, had the confidence to do it, but just couldn't quite execute the skill set, looking to dink the ball into the turf and over the defender's stick. Allows Japan now to counter-attack, trying to get there at least one back in this game as Nomura battles forward, wins the free hit. She's got support outside her in the form of Nagai. Here comes the cross. Fronted up well. Calm head on Dwyer. And good short passes from Australia. Right in possession. And there is a look at total possession in the game so far in this half. 78% of the game in this half has been spent in attacking territory for Australia.
Yeah, slightly less possession this half for Australia, but what we've seen from it is much better outcomes, and that's what's made the difference here in the second half for them.
No sign of that aggression that we heard from Sung Jin Yu at half-time. Japan again set to make a round of changes. Pitch side, Kasahara.
Yeah, she's a real little fighter on the field, and she's one to spirit her team, that's for sure. She's the one who got the goal against the Netherlands the other day, and she's really a little fighter out there for her team. So if she can get on the ball a little bit more as well and keep pushing them forward, that'd be good for them.
Yeah, where's number 20 when she comes on? Just moments away. Number 9 there is Oikawa. Still though, it's Australia on the offensive. And Flanagan with the restart. 2 goals to her name on the day so far, 4 in the tournament. There's a dodgy bobbling ball into the D. Came up high enough and wide enough to take it for a long corner.
Yeah, Australia doing the same thing off the long corners, just trying to play the ball into congestion, and really need to work that ball out and put potentially around to the other side of the field where there's a bit more space and they can really attack in there.
Just under 20 minutes left to play. Australia lead Japan by 3 goals to 1. 1 apiece at half-time, then Australia coming out guns blazing in this second half with goals for Smith and Flanagan. Interception again here in the midfield. Good step forward from McMahon. Almost loses it there in the midfield. Karen McMahon then again over the ball. Flanagan out here to her left, goes straight with the aerial. Fished away from Kelly White. White then into the D. Here's where she can earn a penalty corner for her team. Long corner though instead. Couldn't quite find the foot of the defender. Bit of stick contact there. And Flanagan with a quick restart. Thinks about coming out, but then opts to go reverse stick. Ball comes into the D, it's a loose one. Who's going to be first to gather it? It's Nelson with the drive and the free hit just on the edge of the circle. Restart this time from Claxton. There's more space over there, that's for sure. Sustained pressure from Australia. You can see how many players they've got up and around the D, making it very hard for Japan to get out.
Yeah, definitely. Japan are doing well in terms of making the first tackle and trying to get the ball out, but they're not really doing very well in terms of securing possession. Australia, for me, I'd like to see them moving the ball around a little bit more. They're very much channel focused when they're attacking. They're just playing into the same channel. So the space, as I said, is on the other side. So if they can get it over there, that'd be great. Nelson then on the drive, comes into the 23. Yeah, that's much better.
Spreading it wide, and eventually the cross comes in, but it's high this time from Jenna.
Yes, thanks.
You can't play that ball in above knee height, remember. So Jenna penalised for that on that occasion, but Australia staying high in their press. That means that Japan have to zigzag the ball out of trouble, but they found trouble. Claxton releasing Nance Korn. Now finally some space for Nagai. And here's the danger woman, Kasahara. But Flanagan back her, marking her, but takes it out into touch. Acres of room over here for the captain now, Nakagawa. Thinks about going route 1. Oh, that's a bit of hit and hope. Bobbles high as well, and Australia retain and regain possession.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing from Japan a bit too much, unfortunately. They don't tend to possess the individual skills and the creativity that maybe some of the other teams here do, and therefore they end up looking for a long ball or trying to force the pass. I much prefer to see them keep it in possession and try and find each other a little bit more in there.
Parker, great reverse stick pick, she'll go all the way. Wonderful cover tackle though from Sakai, who was originally beaten and did the legwork to get the ball back and pinch it back off Georgie Parker. Bone with the restart back through Kenny. Lovely square ball to Flanagan, who's now taking up a position on the right-hand flank. There's a slap ball forward. And it'll go across the baseline for a long corner. Well, a little bit dangerous for me, that one, if I'm honest. That ball coming up, that cross coming in high, but play waved on. So at 3-1, Australia looking pretty. They trailed 1-0, remember. Japan going ahead through Yuri Nagai on 20 minutes. And a Flanagan drawing Australia level right on the hooter at half-time to make it 1 apiece. Emily Smith, a super deflection goal on 41 minutes to give Australia the lead. And then Flanagan again from Australia's second penalty corner of the game, converting. So 2 from 2 from Flanagan on the day. 3-1 the score. It currently stands with under 15 minutes to play. You'd expect this result to be in the can, wouldn't you, Sarah?
Yeah, although I've played too many games to know that can change so quickly.
Well, I'm going to stick my neck out there and say Australia have got this. Let's hope it's not the curse of the commentator as Japan come forward now. Penalty corner here would make it interesting. Perfect, just what we ordered. It's corner number 1 for Japan. And this really could sway things and send a few jitters down the Australia camp's backbone. Penalty corner comes back because of a foot here just inside the shooting circle. Played onto the foot there by Mizuki Arai.
Yeah, that's exactly what Arai's looking for there, and she's found it. So let's see what they can do with this. I know Japan have a couple of girls who can drag flick from the top, so let's see if they can slot it home for Japan today.
Yeah, keep an eye out for number 2, Shiho Sakai. She's on the furthest castle away from us, and it's coming her way. There's a low flick, and it's going to be a stroke. The right decision came up off the foot, I think.
You're going to ask if someone's behind. Yeah, I'll check that. Okay.
Australian defender, but was there cover behind her?
Well, you can see. Yeah.
From the first point of view I had there, did look that the Australian defender was behind the goalkeeper and that it would indeed be a penalty stroke, or at least that was my initial reaction.
Did you hear what Australia asked?
They're looking to see is the goalie behind.
If there was someone behind, yeah.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Thanks.
Well, there's the injection. The flick was good. It was goal bound. It was a good initial save from Wells. Your call on that one?
From that one, she looks like she's the foot it makes touch with is in front, but
I mean, the goalie's behind, that's right, but where the ball was going, the line of the ball was going into that bottom right-hand corner where there was no goalie.
Indeed, and touched her foot there, so yeah. Although we did see one yesterday where they called a penalty corner from that, so it'll be interesting to see what the video umpire comes back with.
In the meantime, we'll have another look at the flick there from Shiho Sakai. No reason to change the decision, is what the video umpire says. And you know what, I have to agree with her on that occasion.
Yeah, good decision.
Great decision, and gives Japan a lifeline, a chance to get back into this game. It's the penalty corner striker, Shiho Sakai, that steps up. Can she make it 2? Yes, she can. It stays in the goal. And now Japan have a goal back. This makes things very exciting. Australia 3, Japan 2.
Yeah, she's held her nerve there. She's put it nice and low in a really difficult position. Goalkeeper's managed to get a little bit on it, but not enough. And yeah, back into the game, 3-2.
Australia losing their referral just ahead of that. And, well, a very tense 13 minutes to ride out for the Hockeyroos. The game very much back alive. Really does go to show, doesn't it? You can't take your finger off the pulse for any time in this game. Australia were 3-1 up, now it's 3-2. And They need to score again here, just to make certain. Bone receives the ball in the left-hand channel. Good ball in behind the defence. Intention was to get that through to Claxton. There's Claxton with a little touch. Regained by Bone. And wins the free hit. She'll go herself here. Good change of pace into the D. And well left by the goalkeeper. There was no touch inside the D. Closest to it was Georgia Nanscorn. Playing up front alongside Emily Hertz at the moment. Tactically, do Australia need to change anything after conceding that goal?
I think they need to be a bit sensible here in that they need to choose the times to attack and maybe for the rest sit behind the ball. But Australia, we know, love to attack and love to play hockey, so I'm sure what they'll try and do is get another goal to make sure that it's a bit more difficult for Japan then to come out and score another 3 in the last 10 minutes. You know, it's almost impossible for them to do.
Easton with a lovely run through there. She had options over to the right-hand side. Smith was completely open, opted to keep coming down that left-hand channel. I guess it's worth pointing out, always the harder ball to play because you have to open your body completely up to make sure that that right channel is accessible.
Yeah, definitely, but I think Japan have consciously tried to push Australia to their right-hand side today to win back the ball, and subconsciously I think they've done that very, very well because Australia have ended up playing down that side of the field. For a defender, it's much more difficult to defend the left side than the right.
First time strike there. Ask questions of the goalkeeper. Remember the keeper just coming on now, Ryoko Oi. So it didn't feature in the first half, so it's just had 10 minutes on the pitch or so, and that's her first significant save of the game. Coming off Emily Smith's first shot. Flanagan just waiting on the halfway line.
Come on, stand 5.
Waiting to come on and have another impact in the game. She's had a double impact already with 2 goals in it, both coming from penalty corners. 3-2 the score.
Nice little call there from the Japanese forward, shouting at everyone to get up higher up the field and put pressure on Australia. I've been really impressed with Japan today in how they've gone about this game. That even though they've gone behind, they've consciously gone up the field and tried to attack and tried to get back into the game, and the way they're running back now is fantastic.
Acres of space though for Australia to get something out of this. Maybe another penalty corner. The cross comes in from Nelson, and just in front of the keeper was Hertz. Long corner. Nelson trots over to take it, expending every bit of energy she's got left in this game. Keeper standing tall on that near post. Good lead towards the ball from Emily Smith. Drives on forward into the D. Free hit just outside. Nanscorn takes it. Being hassled there, either side, either flank covered. She hasn't got too many options here, and takes it out into touch unintentionally.
Yeah, I think that's quite a trademark of Japan here today. They've just got enough pressure on the Australians to make some errors at times and win the ball back nicely.
Solid take on the halfway line. Interception, though, in the midfield for Japan. And here's a chance to counter-attack. They've got numbers on this right-hand side, but straight to Anna Flanagan. Flanagan slaps the ball forward. One-time touch. Well, the idea was good, but just too much pace on it. That deflection from Emily Smith. Circle penetrations 15-5 in Australia's favour.
Yeah, I mean, a good amount of circle penetrations, but I just think it goes back to what we spoke about earlier in terms of the outcomes they were getting. They did a little better at the start of the second half, but it's quietened off again for Australia here now. So looking forward to the last 8 minutes, seeing what they do there and whether they try and make an impact with that or whether they just try and retain possession and see this game out.
I agree with you, though. I don't think it's in Australia's nature. They're very natural attackers. That's part and parcel of their modern day game. Yeah,
exactly. That's how they play and that's how they want to play, and that's what, you know, people want to see. So that's brilliant for the game of hockey.
It's a very European style of play, isn't it? You know, you get your noses ahead, very German sort of set-up shot with 1-0 up. Let's just camp on our 1-0 lead.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the way the game has gone now in the last couple of years, the game changes so quickly. You can't afford to just defend a 1-0 lead.
Well, in amongst all that, the umpires talking to each other and decided that this deserves a penalty corner. That stick infringement, back of the stick used. It was a heavy stick challenge as well. So Anna Flanagan earning it. and let's see if she can convert it. She's already got 2 in the game, this for the hat-trick, and this to give Australia some breathing space in this game. A couple of deep breaths at the head of the D from Anna Flanagan. Injections to date have been good, 2 from 2. Can they make it 3 from 3? The Hockeyroos to take one step further forward. The follow-up just goes wide of the post. I think it came in the final touch from Kelly White. Parker was certainly in there amongst the action as well.
We both so long.
So long corner in the meantime.
Watch your arms,
And
number
having
4.
looked back on that penalty corner in just a couple of moments' time, here's Flanagan, whose shot was blocked. And then the follow-up shot going wide for Australia. McMahon now. Crossfield to Jenner. Here's a little bit more room. Cross comes in from Dwyer. Intercepted, though. Several targets there. Nanscorn picks it up. Lovely skills. Tucks it under her shoulder to Parker. Penalty corner. Well earned. It's number 4 of the game. And some great interchange play from Australia to lead to that penalty corner.
Yeah, a nice bit of play there, getting the ball in the air, which again we've not seen Australia do a lot today, but when they have done, it's actually proved useful for them. So getting that ball into the circle, having lifted it, and then just finding a Japanese defender's foot a little bit too easy there, but great for Australia to have another chance of scoring a goal.
Yeah, the Japanese defence out hard and fast last time round to deny Anna Flanagan, but she's got 2 on the board already. Japan converting from their one and only penalty corner in the game. And we're going to see a variation here, or a straight flick from Flanagan, wrong side of the injector. Double slip and taken off in front of the goalkeeper by the defender, who then swings it away for a sideline ball. Just trying to see who that was. That was Ono, who took it away just in front of her goalkeeper. Good defending. Oh dear, that's gone through everyone. The series of tunnels. Well, not the best penalty corner. Let's look back on it.
Yeah, it's not come out as they'd hoped. Tried to swing it back across. Got something on target, but yeah, Japanese post players made a little save there and managed to get the ball out.
Australia thirsty for more, thirsty for another goal as they go in search of another penalty corner. Under 5 minutes left to play now here in The Hague. Australia clinging on, 3-2. They've dominated possession in this game, but Japan getting one back late on in this second half. A penalty stroke converted by Shiho Sakai.
Japan really pushing for the draw here now, getting players high up the field and trying to leave some space in the midfield for the midfield players to possibly turn and put that ball out to the high forwards.
Yeah, from Japan's point of view, absolutely nothing to lose here. Could lose it 4-2, 5-2, it doesn't really matter. Go in search of that equalising goal, and here they come through Kasahara. Blown against the though. Edwina Bone putting in a strong challenge that regains possession for Australia.
Ariel!
That's great control from the side from Adam Commons, who just wanted to relieve a bit of pressure there. Didn't see any point in Australia camping out in their own half for too long. So Flanagan throwing it upfield, and Commons takes a nervous swig of an empty bottle of water. Out into touch from Eastham. Japan keep it in play. This is Sakai, and Flanagan again thinks about the aerial but can't get it any further than Ono. There comes a dangerous ball in, and there were 3 Japanese shirts around it. It'll be a long corner. Australia back in numbers. A really tense 3 minutes to play out if they're to take all 3 points here against Japan. Remember, they beat Korea by 3-2, the same goal margins involved, and an equally tense finale to this game.
Yeah, that was really good from the Japanese midfielder. I mean, something a little bit different, and as a result caught Australia off guard. just wasn't able to trap it and get something off.
Important defensive touch, though, I must add,
Yeah.
because Kasahara was just there lurking on the far post.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready for that deflection.
And as we can see now, Japan are really trying to get that ball into the circle. As I mentioned earlier in the game, they are really good at deflections, and that's probably a tactic of theirs to try and get the ball in and look for a deflection.
Acres of space, though, for Nelson to operate in now, because Japan having thrown numbers forward. Again, some strong cover defence, but Nelson finds a way through. It's going to be another penalty corner. This will bleed some time off the clock, and this should do it. Take some time off the clock and allow Anna Flanagan another shooting opportunity.
Yeah, some good hard run in there and a nice turn, using the body of the Japanese defender to just roll off and just drive our way through with some determination. As you can see, the Japanese girls now are just trying to get pressure to the ball, but unfortunately a little bit clumsy there.
Here we go then. Is there to be a grand finale for Anna Flanagan in search of a hat-trick? Scored at the end of the first half, scored on 43 minutes. And Ammon Collins just making sure that they put a few players back. It's an alternative flick this time, and it was going high and to the keeper's left. A wonderful save off Jodie Kenny's drag flick there. Remember, they've got both Kenny and Flanagan to go to. Kenny given the rights this time to unleash that weapon that was going top right. Blinder.
Yeah, first time we've seen Kenny today take one off the top, but two big threats there with Flanagan and herself. But great save from the Japanese goalkeeper to put that over the bar.
They're not the tallest of goalkeepers as well. She really had to stretch to tip that one over the bar. Into the final minute now, and Australia really need to contain the play down this half of the pitch. Japan attempt an aerial ball unsuccessfully. Here's another look back on that penalty corner effort.
Yep, that looks from that angle like that was going in, so that's a superb save.
Tall left-hand reach from Ryoko Oi, substitute goalkeeper. Japan using both their goalkeepers today, and Australia have possession back. They just need to get the ball on it, or get the stick on it, I should say. Final 20 seconds of the game, and we've seen some late goals come in this World Cup. Is there to be another one here? Doesn't look like. That ball goes out into touch, and that was Japan's last effort.
Well done, girls.
There goes the hooter, and Australia take all 3 points. Anna Flanagan with 2 goals on the day, a goal for Emily Smith as well. Australia beating Japan by 3 goals to 2. So Adam Collins, we heard him there congratulating the girls. Australia, well, 2 wins from 2 now, a 3-2 win against Korea, a 3-2 win against Japan, and 6 points. They go to the top of Pool A. Well, Japan, a spirited effort from them. They went ahead through Yuri Nagai on 20 minutes before Anna Flanagan drew Australia level at half-time. Then Australia went ahead, got to 3-1 up before Shiho Sakai added a penalty stroke right at the end there. So 5 goals in total. Cracking start to day 3 and a winning start for Australia. Full-time score here, Australia 3, Japan 2. Oh, what a game that was. The final summary on the way and some highlights too, as the teams congratulate each other at the end. In brief, Sarah, good game. Australia deserved winners.
Yeah, in the end, Australia deserved winners, had a lot more possession than Japan, but moving on to the next game, I think they'll appreciate having Madonna Blythe back in the team to show some experience there and hopefully get some more outcomes. But in saying that, really happy with the Japanese performance today, and I'm sure they'll take a lot of confidence from that. They did not stop running, and they gave everything they had.
Well, a 6-1 loss to the Netherlands, and now a 3-2 loss. Japan have just got to keep going. Here's a look back on some of those second half highlights. Claxton really coming into her own there and teeing up that one superbly for Emily Smith. Here was the third of Australia's goals, with Anna Flanagan shooting high this time, leaving the keeper no chance. And that to make it 3-1. Australia again surging forward. Lovely interplay there from Eastham, who couldn't quite get the shot off on target, but a lovely 1-2 at the head of the D. This was Japan's only goal of the second half, with Shiho Sakai beating Ashley Wells from the penalty stroke. And at the death, some chances there. That one going wide. And final shot coming in from Jodie Kenny as well, which was a good save. But 3-2 on the day to Australia. Let's get some pitch-side reaction now with captain for the day. It's Casey Eastham.
Casey standing in as captain today, and you've given yourselves a scare yet again, just like the first game. You went one behind, then two ahead, and it was tight at the end.
Yeah, it was really tight. I think we really let ourselves down in the first half. We didn't play our attacking kind of style of hockey. Our defensive work, I think, was pretty solid, but yeah, that just shows when Japan play a really tight, compact defence, and we just couldn't break through there in the first half.
So how do you assess it then? You've played two games, they've been tight, but you're 2-0 to start the tournament.
Yeah, that's it. Important to get the 3 points today, and it might not have been a pretty result, but we did get the 3 points. It just shows, I think, that what quality team we've got now, that we can play quite poorly and still get a result. And
you were out on the Greenfields pitch for the first game. What about the main stadium here at Kiyosau?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to be here with our support crew out behind us, so that's really nice. It's pretty loud out here today, but yeah, really enjoying here, and the pitch plays really well, so looking forward to playing more games.
Congratulations, Casey. Well done.
Thanks very much, Quinton.
3 more games in the pool for Australia to play, the next of which is Belgium on Thursday, a 10:30 start. So another bright and early start for the girls here. A late one for you back home watching the Hockeyroos in action. So 3 points for Adam Commons' side. 3 goals on the day, another 2 there for Anna Flanagan to the left of the picture. 4 goals in total in the tournament for her, takes her to leading goal scorer as well. Back-to-back wins for Australia. As for Japan, well, that loss that we mentioned against the Netherlands, 6-1, now 3-2 to the Australians. Their next game against Korea, that'll be an absolute thriller. Remember, Japan beating Korea. Korea ranked 8th in the world, but Japan beating them to qualify as continental champions of Asia. Let's get your final word on the game, Sarah.
Yeah, I think Casey Eastham summed it up perfectly there, in the sense that Australia didn't have their best first half by any means, but they were happy with how they defended, and I think the attack we did see, I mean, we'll see more of that moving forward, and as I said, they'll be boasted by the return of the captain, Madonna Blythe.
Well, thanks as always for your input throughout this game.
2 days rest now. We need to do
Adam Commons there with the final word to his team. Let's have a look at how it affects the table. Australia lead. They have 2 wins from 2. They top the table here in Pool A. A cracking result for them. 3-2 on the day. Here is confirmation of that result. Australia 3, Japan 2.